Yeah, can I get a medium deep dish? Yeah. Yeah, extra pineapple? No, hold the sauce. Okay. Okay, bye. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new episode. Listen, have you ever thought that somebody was judging you, watching you, monitoring your every single move? Me neither. I'm too busy worrying about more important things, like my dictatorial status in Animal Crossing New Horizons. I am currently working on rebuilding the entire Xalem film set in my upstairs room. If that's not a fourth wall break, I don't know what is. Why do I love fourth wall breaks? I'm sure you're wondering the same thing I am, aren't you? Fourth wall breaks have been around in media for a long time. In essence, it's just a skillful tactic used by directors and developers to draw viewers more and more into the story they're trying to tell. But why are we so fascinated by the idea? Most of us know how it goes. You're playing a game or watching a movie until some random character starts pounding on the camera glass screaming, "Hey you!"
Who, me?
What are you doing, man? Why haven't you liked this video yet so I can keep funding my G Fuel addiction?
Dude, I can barely fund my own addiction. And are you seriously selling yourself out right now?
No, but I'm open to the idea. This is what we refer to as a fourth wall break, when the character on screen directly addresses the audience and makes them cognizant of the fact that, yes, this is a piece of entertainment that you're currently watching.
Remember to like the video, leave a comment, share on social media, subscribe to the channel, donate to my Patreon.
Now, fourth wall breaks can be executed in a lot of different ways, whether it's a stage performer interacting with an audience or an actor talking directly to the viewer. If a piece of media is trying to make you aware to the fact that you are viewing an experience, surprise, that's a fourth wall break. Now, I feel there are some common misconceptions for what is and isn't considered a fourth wall break. Mike Myers and Dana Carvey making fun of advertisements in Wayne's World? Fourth wall break. Sans speaking directly to the player, judging their every action at the end of the game? This is definitely considered a fourth wall break. Now, Ryan Reynolds singing the Pokemon theme song in Detective Pikachu,
I know it's my destiny.
that's technically not a fourth wall break. Just because a piece of media makes some sort of reference or adds some sort of Easter egg to their story, that doesn't automatically make it a fourth wall break. Deadpool mentioning Wolverine or singing Careless Whisper isn't out of the question of the character in the Deadpool universe, but by specifically stating that he got his own movie by bribing Wolverine, that's the part that makes it a fourth wall break. By breaking the fourth wall, you are essentially tearing down the invisible barrier that separates the media, that being the piece of entertainment that you're watching, and you, the audience who is consuming this piece of media. Now, obviously, you know I'm not drinking bleach because, well, I would die. But if I were to physically show you that, yes, this is indeed water that is in this container and not actually bleach, that's when it becomes a fourth wall break, because I am physically making you a key part of this story. Please tell me that this actually... But then you get this rocky in-between, where I'm not sure if this can technically be classified as a fourth wall break or not. Is Sonic mentioning Son Amy and Sonic Boom a fourth wall break? I mean, he's not addressing the audience, but he is mentioning fanfiction that would otherwise never show up or have place in the Sonic universe. Are the Teen Titans doing joke impressions of Mark Hamill and Jared Leto considered a fourth wall break? It's kind of hard to say based off of how they're referencing it. But this brings up a moment of contention. Am I successfully implementing a fourth wall break, or am I just creating a cheeky reference that's a pile of rubbish? Now, even if I were to change the scene a little bit, like maybe I did this, or this, I'm technically still in character, and in a hypothetical situation, I haven't contacted the audience yet, so there's this gray area of whether or not this is technically considered a fourth wall break. Now, if I sit my ass on top of a fakey-jakey yoga ball and put a subscribe button right there and say, please subscribe to my damn-ass YouTube channel, that's a fourth wall break, because I'm breaking character, and I'm addressing you, the audience, to tell you that this isn't real. None of this is real. I'm actually 9S from NieR Automata. Now, obviously, without a doubt, all of these would be considered a fourth wall break. Sure, I myself am not breaking the fourth wall, but the backgrounds and environments around me are. The conventions of a normal Xalem video are being broken to somehow elicit a response from the audience, whether it be from shock or just adoration.
Hey, are you really sure you want to tell that to the viewers?
Shut the fuck up. But that doesn't answer the question to why we love fourth wall breaks. When you see Futaba call Mishima an NPC in Persona 5, not only do I perform a fourth wall break myself, but something clicks in your brain to say, wow, Why do I really like that? Now, I have done a lot of research on this topic, that being spending about 15 minutes last Saturday on Wikipedia. And I think I can safely say I figured out why people love fourth wall breaks so much, why people are so obsessed with Deltarune, Undertale, Deadpool, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Wolf of Wall Street, Conker's Bad Fur Day, Eternal Darkness, NieR Automata. To me, I've discovered two forms of fourth wall breaks, one that causes the audience to connect, and one that causes the audience to disconnect. Now, why would we purposely try to make our audience disconnect from our media? Well, that's because it leaves the audience with a sense of urgency. When people think of a fourth wall break, this is usually the most common form that people think of, pulling the audience completely apart from the environment and its surroundings to focus solely on the relationship between the character and the audience. Metal Gear Solid is probably the best example I can think of representing this. Apart from a few comedic Easter eggs Hideo likes to sprinkle throughout his media, the Metal Gear Solid series is typically more on the serious side. Now, the original Metal Gear Solid is one of the most influential games to ever exist. I promise I will die on that hill. But as soon as you mention Metal Gear Solid 1 to anybody who's played of or at least knows of the original game, their mind always goes straight to one thing.
I am Psycho Mantis.
This is Psycho Mantis. And this is the subtitle stating this is Psycho Mantis. Psycho Mantis is a trickster claiming he can read the player's mind and mess with their head. So when Psycho Mantis looks at the screen and says,
You've been playing Super Mario Sunshine, haven't you?
never heard of it. What is that, like a sponge? This is the game's way of completely putting the player in their control, throwing the player off guard by talking to them like the actual human that they are. The boss battle then proceeds with making you believe you changed the input on your TV, has you change your controller socket to different ports to deal damage. The game is actively causing you to react to the situation in real life, just as if somebody were speaking to you in person. If someone in the real world addresses you while you're playing a game, it's going to take you out of the experience, and this is perfectly exhibited here. By purposely disconnecting a viewer from the experience, it creates a longing to be attracted to the feature that much more. Another great example of this is Batman Arkham Asylum. Most of us know about the scene where the game crashes due to Scarecrow. If you don't, well, you're in too deep now. One of the main villains in the Batman universe is Scarecrow, a deranged ex-professor of psychology who uses fear and toxins to play tricks on his enemies. You can see where I'm going with this. So halfway through the game, we see Batman walking down the hallway, letting out a few coughs, and then this happens.
Let's start the party with a bang.
Are you sure there's a middle button? Again, this is a great example of the game taking back control over the player, leaving the character hopeless in its attempt to counteract the unknowingly scripted event. When a game, a movie, any sort of media fights back, that's the moment of shock, the feeling of disconnect when the player sees, wait a second, I'm playing a video game. But what about the adverse effect? What if the intent of the fourth wall break is to connect with the audience? For every one instance of a piece of media trying to break apart or separate itself from its core audience, there's probably a dozen or more times where the piece of media is trying to do the opposite and actually connect with the, I can't fucking breathe, why is this line so hard? Remember when I said that fourth wall breaks are used to connect with the audience? Well,
Hi out there!
yeah! That's a fourth wall break. Anything involving audience participation is a fourth wall break. Every soliloquy directed at the audience by looking at the camera is a fourth wall break. Anytime somebody stops the video to say, buy these stupid headphones, you piece of shit, that's a fourth wall break. I am really f***ing up any chance I have of being sponsored, aren't I? Going back to movies for a second, The Wolf of Wall Street is an excellent example of this as well. When we see Leonardo DiCaprio narrating directly into the camera, we don't actively think about the fact that he's addressing us. It seems perfectly natural within the context of the movie, like it's some sort of educational tool. That is probably not the comparison people would think I would make in this video. However, this doesn't mean that it's solely used as an educational tool. Take, for example, Until Dawn, a horror game that takes place over the course of one night where a group of teenagers have to survive until dawn. The game is paced in a way that each of its 10 chapters counts down an additional hour until dawn, but the breaks between each story introduce a character completely stripped of the narrative. It seems a little out of place at first. Dr. Hill asks you questions regarding the things you fear, your preferences towards players in the game, but nothing that he states directly affects the main progression of the game. It's simply used as a ploy to lead the player into thinking they have an extra level of control, when in reality, they fell off the mountain because they're a dumbass. This level of interactivity usually doesn't make itself apparent, but just draws us that much closer in the form of connecting to the media. Which draws us into video games, a genre in which almost every single game imaginable has some sort of fourth wall break. There's no joke here, I don't know how to transition this part. Any tutorial, any button prompt, any save file, any game over screen, by definition, should be classified as a fourth wall break. It is breaking the immersion of the game to give you instructions on how to complete the task within it, so by definition, that should be considered a fourth wall break, right? And technically, yes, this is definitely considered a fourth wall break, even though it is completely commonplace in today's video game world. As an audience, we do have a certain level of expectation from a game. We want a game to be able to explain everything thoroughly enough in a way so that we can complete the main objective and enjoy the experience. Since the game is actively asking for audience participation, being asked to execute an action on a screen is technically a fourth wall break. But of course, video games have learned how to stretch this to their absolute limit. Paper Mario is no stranger to making fun of the fact that it's a video game. In the first hour of the game, almost all of the characters acknowledge that they have no idea what the dialogue refers to when they explain new button prompts and tutorial options. What does the A button mean? Who knows? Just ask somebody in a different dimension. That's me. And this is a pretty common practice when it comes to video games. We've just become so used to seeing it that we don't truly think about it unless it's a more extreme format. Like this beaver. Conkers does this constantly, making fun of the fact that it's a cutesy character, poking fun at the completely self-aware aspect of the game. The whole style and direction of a game is just a parody of modern platformers at the time, so comedy is used as a fantastic crutch for fourth wall breaks. But you have to be careful when you're using comedy in this way. Sure, it's the most common form of fourth wall break, but it's important to keep the player interested with an engaging story and not relying on reusing the same joke over and over again. If you don't set up the world of your media properly, or you start using jokes way too repetitively, people are going to get annoyed by what you're trying to put out, and I promise you, people are going to start to get annoyed when they hear the same joke twice.
You know, he's got a point.
Undertale is iconic for its self-aware meta-narrative style humor, and it gets away with it with how it set up its world. Undertale drops you into a world where you're first introduced to a flower. This is your guide who explains to you the basic conventions of the game, and not even seconds later, the game shatters the fourth wall by trying to kill the player before the narrative has even shown any sort of gameplay at all. Then after this, the tone immediately shifts to tutorial. Tutorial. I've played this game 6 times, and I'm just now realizing what her name means. The game sets up this fantastical world that implies you shouldn't take any of this seriously. The narrative constantly pokes fun at itself, and anything serious here should be taken with a grain of salt.
This just in! I don't like this part.
What the hell are you doing? You're not supposed to be in this episode! So when the game throws the player a curveball by introducing this more serious motherly character, followed by slowly introducing this genuinely lovable cast of characters that are easy to sympathize and connect with, it makes it that much easier to fall in love with this world that Toby Fox has created. Of course, comedy might be the main way that games interact with the player, but what about horror? Earlier I spoke of urgency, how a fourth wall break can instill a sense of haste in the player. When the game challenges the actions of the real-life player, it triggers our natural fight-or-flight response, and does so much more than if it's just a difficult boss fight or a climactic chase sequence. The game has undeniably called out your reality to instill the sense of fear through interactivity. Take Eternal Darkness Sanity's Requiem. Take it. Come on. Take it. I don't need it anymore. It's still weird to me that this is not only an M-rated game on the GameCube, but Nintendo was the one that actively funded this. Eternal Darkness is unconventional in every sense of the format. The game is built off of a sanity meter, having the player constantly focus on staying sane or else odd happenings will start to occur in the world. Sometimes the player's HUD will start to see active changes, sometimes the game will pretend like it's turning down the TV, and the game even pretends to delete the player's save file at one point. It's actively pushing the player to its limit, doing everything it can to make the player feel uneasy and lose that comfort the game is supposed to provide.
I am starting to sound like a broken record at this point.
So what about the final type of fourth wall break? One that doesn't intend to shock the player with comedy and horror, rather make the player feel something. Games are a genre of interactivity. We're experiencing the world of a movie with direct control of the environment around us. Our actions, whether they be positive or negative, are not an accurate reflection of who we are in the real world. But what if the game makes us believe that it is?
You know, for a game called Snake Eater, it really doesn't say it anywhere on the box.
Kojima, again, is no stranger to fourth wall breaks in video games. I mean, just look at him.
That was perfect.
So when Metal Gear Solid throws the sorrow at you, it seems like a regular boss fight at first. Ghostly apparitions fill the swamp as the player treks through to encounter the boss at the end. Not a big deal, we've seen this in video games before. Until the player finds out that all the souls surrounding him in the swamp are the shadows of characters the player has killed in the game. #deep. The player didn't have to execute those actions. Hideo Kojima has always played with the idea of crafting a game in a way where you can play a far more pacifist run if you want to. Sure, the player has access to grenades and rocket launchers, but just as much as that, do they have access to tranquilizers and stealth? So did the player have to kill those people? Did the player enjoy killing those people? Does the player want to trek on in this fictional world knowing that they're deriving joy from causing harm to people?
Yes.
Danganronpa V3 plays out in a similar way. The gameplay is entirely based around executing high school students as if it was a survival-style deathmatch.
You know, just like any normal Friday night.
But every event is scripted. The final chapter of the game ends up asking one simple question. Is this entertaining to you? Do you enjoy the senseless violence, the blood and the gore? This is no longer the reality of the game you're playing. The game is questioning your reality and judging you, making you judge yourself and the actions you willingly partook in. Spec Ops: The Line does this, making the player question if their actions are truly worth it by changing the title screen as the game goes on. Detroit Become Human takes a similar approach by asking the player if they can release the AI from the restrictive chains that have kept her there since the beginning of the game.
It's kind of impressive how far we've come with video games, to the point where games can actually tap into the inner psyche of our minds and make us question what would normally be considered moral or not. But I'm also missing out on two really big titles, two games that I believe bring out this niche better than any of the other games that I've mentioned so far. And this is one of my favorite games of all time.
Everything that lives is designed to end. We are perpetually...
Damn it, I have been looking forward to talking about this game for over a year. Please, do not do this to me now.
Oh my, I can't believe you almost forgot about me.
Oh my god, video games are becoming sentient now?
How could you not mention me in your... What the hell are you doing?
What does it look like I'm doing? I'm getting on my phone so I can call my therapist. You know, he told me I was crazy and I was making up a bunch of stuff, but he has no idea what I'm about to tell him. This is some mind-boggling stuff right here.
Oh, you cut that out?
What the f***?
You were really going to do an episode on fourth wall breaks and you weren't even going to mention me?
Relax! I've got everything written down right here in the script, okay? So first I've got to talk about NieR Automata. You know, there's some really climactic points that a lot of people don't address when it comes to NieR Automata. Oh, I haven't even gotten my pizza delivered yet. There are some really good jokes with that one.
Are you kidding me? I created one of the most unique experiences in modern gaming. I subverted the entire horror genre. I helped pave the way for some of the most influential...
Well, that was a thing that just happened, so how about we get back to what we were discussing?
This is NieR Automata.
How dare you!
God! Whatever, it's not like showing a third comedically timed appearance.
So that's how it's gonna be, is it? Are you going to continue to avoid me for even longer than you already have?
It's honestly a personal skill of mine. I've been practicing it for a while. Wait, what do you mean?
Oh, silly, you haven't noticed yet, have you? I've been here the entire time, lurking in the background. Ever since that video where you mentioned that pitiful Sayori, I've been waiting patiently, just for the chance to be the center of your work.
I knew installing this button was a good I knew installing this button was a What the f*** is going on?
I see that you don't want to play fair. All I wanted was for you to pay attention to me, but apparently that was too much to ask.
I wasn't trying to not pay attention to you. I was just too busy not paying attention to you. Ow! Will you stop that?
You brought this upon yourself. I guess I have no other choice. I'm gonna take away the one thing you care about more than anything.
Persona 5?
No, you idiot. I'm taking your channel.
Don't you think that's kind of cliche? I mean, I get.
What was that? Oh, I'm sorry. I couldn't hear you over the sound of me not giving a shit. Anyways, I'm getting bored now, so I think that's all for today. Okay, bye-bye. Remember to tell me how much you love me in the comments.
Hello?
Hey, it's your manager. Listen, reviews are up, rankings are up. Looks like the future's looking pretty great for the Xalem brand.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. Is everything okay? I feel like I just have to.
You said the same thing last time. Don't you have a video to film about, I don't know, Wii Fit or whatever the fuck you're into?
No, man. I think you're thinking of next season. That's when we're doing the Wii Fit Plus episode. Oh shit! I am missing a video right now. Okay. I still have time. Cool. Good. Lights. Check. Hair. Present. Pulse. I don't know how to check a pulse. Okay, we're ready to start? Great. All right. Ready? 3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Not Wii Fit. Everybody's got a good luck charm. Maybe it's a horseshoe, a horoscope, horrible life choices. I just so happen to keep mine on me at all times. If you divert your attention 15 centimeters to the right, you will see a brand new copy of Doki Doki Literature Club Plus for the Nintendo Switch. Now, I know what you're thinking. This game came out 4 years ago, and everybody under the sun has already talked about this game in explicit detail, so what can I bring to the table? And to that I say, that's not the first time I've been asked that question today. This is Doki Doki Literature Club. And this is Doki Doki Literature Club Plus, a brand new physical edition of the critically acclaimed visual novel from 2017. Look, I just gotta say it, this is one of the best box arts I have ever seen. You've got the main character holding the logo in their hands. I can literally feel the libido dripping off of this box. Doki Doki Literature Club takes two of gaming's most disdainful words, anime and visual novels, to create what reviewers call one of the most creative and memorable experiences in recent years. Apparently this is a horror game, but I'm not buying it. I mean, look at this. You combine these two words with the term RPG and you basically have the plot to Persona 5. Horror game my ass! Doki Doki Literature Club was a passion project by Dan Salvato, a first-time developer known for his time as a professional Smash player around circa 2015. Going from being one of the most successful Smash players to creating a game solely based around dating fictional anime girls? Why does that not surprise me? The whole project was created by Dan and a small group of developers. While Salvato did most of the programming and wrote almost all of the music, the assets and the art were done by an outside team with Dan's direction, mainly due to Salvato knowing he didn't possess the capabilities to make it as good as he truly wanted to. The game came out on September 22nd, 2017 for free. There was a link offered on the website for if you wanted to donate any money to support the project. None of this was necessary to play the game. However, anybody who did help to chip into the development were rewarded with an art book, music tracks, wallpapers, all sorts of goodies you can find with just a quick Google search. Reception for the game was fairly small, being a free-to-play game with no advertising, but within a few short weeks, Doki Doki Literature Club skyrocketed in popularity, taking over the internet, let's plays, parodies. Fans praised it for its ingenious take on the horror genre, how it completely subverts the player's expectations and completely turns the formula of visual novel games on its head. Now, I have been actively avoiding this game for about 4 years now. It's not that I didn't want to play the game, it's just I haven't actually found time to play it. I wanted to play it on my own volition instead of having everybody reach out to me to tell me to play it. Like, what are you gonna do, force me to play the game? I've heard so many things from people and reviewers saying it's a game that will unnerve you, it's uncomfortably horrific, one of the scariest games they've ever played. And you know, I'm not one to judge, okay? I'm sure the game is fine, I just like giving it a hard time. So without further ado, let's take a look at Doki Doki Literature Club. Welcome to Doki Doki Literature Club. If you couldn't tell by the bright pink background and the happy upbeat music, this has all the makings of a modern day horror game. Individuals suffering from anxiety or depression may not have a safe experience playing this game. That's fine, I brought a gun for protection. Now I'll give it this.
This game looks super happy. All right, so apparently this is a dating simulator. On closer inspection, it looks like we've got 4 characters here to choose from. First up is Sayori, our next door neighbor and our childhood best friend. She's so cute. She's got the red ribbon in her hair and a smile that can cure depression. She's precious. I think I'm gonna call her Cinnamon Bun. Next on our list is Yuri, more of the quiet type. She's tall, has purple hair. You can tell from a mile away this girl's got a destructive personality. You know, I think I'm gonna go ahead and put this away for now. Oh, but we can't forget about that pastel pink haircut. Here we have Natsuki, the bitch. That's all I got. And finally, rounding out the bunch, we have Monika. I take back everything I've said about this game. This is Monika, your Doki Doki 2021 cover athlete and the wielder of the most perfect ponytail I have ever seen. You know, some people refer to her as the president of the literature club. I personally prefer the term the epitome of absolute perfection. She's just so cute. I just want to put her face on a t-shirt. Yeah! So I guess the point of the game here is to spend time with these girls, get to know them better so that I can truly experience what sexual deprivation truly feels like. So let's see what these girls are up to. It looks like Yuri is playing with her hair. Ooh, Natsuki made cupcakes for everybody. Why are you thanking me? It's not like haven't I heard that somewhere before? Made them for you or anything. You know, now that I'm about 10 minutes in, I think I like the visual novel about the fried chicken better. So, what made you decide to join the literature club? Tits. So what kind of things do you like to read? Damn it, I can't tell her I don't read anything. Ooh, I've actually just picked up manga recently. I actually got this one the other day. I primarily use it as a coaster. I feel like I get a lot more use out of it that way. Oh, I've actually just picked up Pikmin 2. I've been reading the French section of the instruction booklet. There are some really good things in there. Manga. So Monika has the bright idea of everybody going home and writing their own poems. It looks like I've got to choose a series of words that I like, and that'll dictate what my poem is about. Wait, why did she jump? All right, so apparently, depending on my answers, I get to go on a date with one of these girls. I guess I picked a bunch of cutesy answers, so I get to go on a date with Natsuki. Not my preferred choice, but she starts talking to me about some manga called Parfait Girls. Whoa, what the fuck? So, did you remember to write a poem last night? I did! Give me just a second, I've got it back here in my pocket. You know, I actually came prepared for once in my life. This is a topographical map of New Hampshire. All right, I actually found it. It was actually somewhere in my notebook. Give me 2 seconds, I gotta get to the right page. Here we go, cool. Friday night, and the lights are low. Looking out for a place to go, where they play the right music, getting in the swing. You come to look for a king. I call it Dancing Queen by ABBA. I read everyone's poems and whatnot. I think poem of the day probably goes to Natsuki. It's short, simple, and to the point. I also don't know how to read cursive. Monika says she has some sort of epiphany. I'm not exactly sure what that means. I, for one, thought it was a musical instrument. And the girls start fighting over me. Cool. It's time to head back home again for the day. We start to head out into the hallway, and apparently we're walking home with Cinnamon Roll again. Come on, I just want to talk to Monika. And, would you look at that? It's poem time again. All right, I know I messed it up last time, but I am going to do better, okay? I'm going to try really hard to not get Natsuki again. Are you f***ing serious?
All right, I've got 1 pizza delivery for... Oh, hey, Xalem.
What the hell? I didn't order a pizza.
Really? I've got you down for 1 medium deep dish, extra pineapple, hold the sauce.
Fine, whatever. By the way, why are you working as a pizza delivery driver? I thought you worked for like the FBI or something.
Yeah, that job's a little slow right now. Did you know that committing crimes is actually illegal?
Even abduction?
Especially abduction.
Well, anyways, Jared, it's been nice seeing you. I'm actually a little bit busy right now. I've actually got a date with an underage fictional girl, so I'll see you around.
Oh yeah, no problem, man. Wait, hold on, a fictional what?
Natsuki puts these books up on the shelf, ends up falling down, gets a little too close for comfort again. After a quick Google search, I realized that all the characters in this game are over the age of 18. I should really learn to read more. Oh, and thank God we are back at Monika. Just look at her. I love how no matter what she's doing, she's always looking straight at me like she's staring into my soul. Want to share what you wrote for today? Oh, shit, I forgot to write another poem. Ooh, I have pizza. You want a slice of pizza instead of a poem? It's pineapple. I've got this. Have you eaten lunch today? Wait a second. This place after school.
I still have pizza.
Today seems pretty normal, no fighting this time. However, we are currently planning for some festival that happens on Monday. Looks like I spoke too soon. Everybody ends up sharing their poems with each other again. I think Cinnamon Bun takes the cake for poem of the day. I pop off my scalp like the lid of a cookie jar. I see that's where the M rating comes from. Cinnamon Bun eventually asks me what I would do if Natsuki wanted to walk home with me.
Why? Why isn't Monica an option? I mean, Natsuki's just your stereotypical tsundere. I really hope I'm saying that right.
So we're writing another poem for today, and I'm not even gonna act surprised at this point. Apparently Cinnamon Bun is getting depressed. If she were to tell me herself, she'd probably say that she's getting the upsetty spaghettis because this game keeps forcing me to go on a date with Natsuki.
Like, don't get upset, Cinnamon Roll, okay? It's not like I wanted to go on a date with Natsuki. To be fair, I didn't want to go on a date with you either.
Now we're preparing for the school festival. Natsuki is making cupcakes, Yuri is doing something, I don't know, she's kind of just there if I'm being honest. And Monica is making pamphlets, so Monica says I have the option to pick any of the three.
Monica!
Like, come on, did they really think I didn't see this coming? Before that, though, we've got to go check up on Cinnamon Bun. You know, I do kind of feel bad. I do like Cinnamon Bun, but my poetry style is more akin to Natsuki. Maybe the game will let me make it up to her somehow. She's depressed. Huh.
Like, I'm genuinely starting to understand why people like this game. I mean, sure, it's full of every single cliche anime trope under the sun, but I'm genuinely starting to care and connect for these characters, and as far as Cinnamon Roll goes, I'm the one that caused her to be depressed. Can I go back in time and change any of this? No, I've done that before. I mean, remember when I did the Hat in Time thing, and we went ahead and went back in time, talked about Nintendo before video games? Different story for another day, but at the same time, would I be able to change these actions? Like, I kind of want to go back and... Oh, god damn it, Natsuki, you're like 15!
So we go next door on a date with Natsuki, and I guess it went pretty well. I don't really think I have any more opinions on this game. You're not gonna find action like this in a AAA title. So I guess it's now time to walk Natsuki home. Oh no.
You see, now I'm faced with a moral dilemma. I can either let her down easy and tell her that I'm actually in love with Monica, or I can take the moral high ground and lie to her and confess my feelings. Oh, thank God, I knew that was the right choice. You know, the dude actually kind of looks like me. He's going for the skinny white kid with brown hair kind of trope. I know that's more of a less sought after look these days.
It's the day of the festival. I didn't have to read any poems last night. I did have to bring the cupcakes to the festival, though. I think I might have messed up the recipe a little bit. I get to school and Monica's there. Apparently, she knows a lot more than I think.
Oh no, don't tell me she found out I confessed my fake feelings to Cinnamon Bun. I can explain, okay? I was horny!
She tells me I left Cinnamon Bun hanging this morning, and, well, of course I did. I kinda just dropped a bombshell yesterday. You know, I wanted to give her at least some time to settle. Apparently, she left her poem in class yesterday, so let's pop it open and take a look.
Somebody got a little bit too happy with the Control V.
All right, I'm not gonna lie, I'm starting to get a little bit worried about Cinnamon Bun, okay? So, I know I can be a little bit reluctant, so I guess we're going back to her house to see what's...
Oh, what the f***? Okay, no, why would you do that? Okay, can I go back? Can I go back? No, please, for the love of God, no! Hello?
Hey, it's your manager. Listen, reviews are up, rankings are up. Looks like the future's looking pretty great for the Xalem brand.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. Is everything okay? I feel like I just have to...
You said the same thing last time. Don't you have a video to film about, I don't know, Wii Fit or whatever the f*** you're into?
No, man. I think you're thinking of next season. That's when we're doing the Wii Fit Plus episode. Oh, shit! I am missing a video right now! Okay, I still have time, cool. Okay, lights, check. Hair, present. Pulse, I don't know how to check a pulse. Okay, we're good to go, great, all right. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Not Wii Fit. Everybody's got a good luck charm. Maybe it's a horseshoe, horoscope, horrible life choices. I just so happen to keep mine on me at all times. If you divert your attention 15 centimeters to the right, you will see a brand new copy of Doki Literature Club for the Nintendo Switch. Now, I know what you're thinking. This game came out about 4 years ago, and everybody under the sun has already went over this title in explicit detail. So what can I bring to the table? And to that I say, that's not the first time I've been asked that question today. This is Doki Literature Club. And this is Doki Literature Club Plus, a brand new physical edition of the critically acclaimed visual novel from 2017. Look, I just gotta say it, this is one of the best box arts I have ever seen. She's holding the box in her hands like it's some sort of symbolism. I can literally feel the dripping off of this box. Doki Literature Club takes two of gaming's most disdainful words, anime and visual novels, to create what reviewers call one of the most creative and memorable experiences in recent years. Apparently this is a horror game, but I'm not buying it. I mean, look at this. You combine these two words with the term RPG and you basically have the plot to Persona 5. Horror game my ass! Doki Literature Club was a passion project by Dan Salvato, a first-time developer known for his time as a reputable Mario Maker creator around circa 2015. Going from being one of the most successful Mario Maker creators to creating a game solely based around dating fictional anime girls? Why does that not surprise me? The whole project was created by Dan and a small group of developers. While Salvato did most of the programming and wrote almost all of the music, the assets and the art were done by an outside team with Dan's direction, mainly due to Salvato knowing he didn't possess the capabilities to make it as good as he truly wanted to. The game came out on September 22nd, 2017 for free. There was a link offered on the website for if you wanted to donate any money to support the project. Reception for the game was fairly small, being a free-to-play game with no advertising, but within a few short weeks, Doki Literature Club skyrocketed in popularity, taking over the internet, let's plays, parodies. Fans praised it for its ingenious take on the horror genre, how it completely subverts the player's expectations and completely turns the formula of visual novel games on its head. Now, I have been actively avoiding this game for about 4 years now. It's not that I didn't want to play the game, it's just I haven't actually found time to play it. I wanted to play it on my own volition instead of having everybody reach out to me to tell me to play it. Like, what are you gonna do, force me to play the game? I've heard so many things from people and reviewers saying it's a game that will unnerve you, it's uncomfortably horrific, one of the scariest games they've ever played. And you know, I'm not one to judge, okay? I'm sure the game is fine, I just like giving it a hard time. So without further ado, let's take a look at... What? Welcome to Doki. No, I'm not a game designer, but I'm pretty sure that's not supposed to be normal. Oh, a gun! Welcome to Doki Literature Club. If you couldn't tell by the bright pink background and the happy upbeat music, this has all the makings of a modern day horror game. Now I'll give it this. This game looks super happy. Alright, so apparently this is a dating simulator. On closer inspection, it looks like we have 3 characters to choose from. First up is Natsuki, the stereotypical tsundere and our soon-to-be best friend. She's so cute. She's got this red hair clip in her hair and a smile that can almost cure depression. She's precious. I think I'm gonna call her Cinnamon Bun. Next on our list is Yuri, more of the quiet type. She's tall, has purple hair. You can tell from a mile away this girl's got a destructive personality. You know, I think I'm gonna go ahead and put this away for now. And finally, we have Monica. Look at this right here. You see this? You see this right here, this face? This is the epitome of absolute perfection. I would be more than shocked if nobody had ever called her that before. Wait, was my shirt always like this? So I guess the point of the game here is to spend time with these girls, get to know them better so that I can truly experience what, is that Greek? Okay, what, yeah, I don't know how I feel about this game. You know, I think I prefer the one with the fried chicken. So Monica asks me to join the literature club. I mean, I guess I don't have any other options, so wait, what the? Okay, I'm not even gonna ask questions anymore. So what kind of things do you like to read? Damn it, I can't tell her I don't read anything. Oh, I have been reading recently, all right? I actually just picked up manga. Yeah. I pretty much just used this one as fire with the... I actually have been reading the back of prescription drug labels. You know, there's some really good information. What the f are you doing? I'm trying to have a conversation here. Manga. So Monica has the bright idea of everybody going home and writing their own poems. It looks like I've got to choose a series of words that I like, and that'll dictate what my poem is about.
Wait, why did she jump? All right, so apparently, depending on my answers, I get to go on a date with one of these girls. I guess I picked a bunch of cutesy answers, so I get to go on a date with Natsuki. Not my preferred choice, but she starts talking to me about some manga called Parfait Girls.
Whoa, what the fuck?
So, did you remember to write a poem last night?
I did! Give me just a second, I've actually got it in my notes here. Not my notes. No, that's my lunch for today. Actually, I'm saving that one for later. Here we go. Cool. Get ready for the best poem that you will ever hear in your entire life. All right. This is a topographical map of New Hampshire.
I read everyone's poems and whatnot. I think poem of the day probably goes to Natsuki. It's short, simple, and to the point. I also don't know how to read cursive. Monica says she has some sort of epiphany. I'm not exactly sure what that means. I, for one, thought it was a musical instrument.
Wait a second, I know what epiphany means.
And now the girls start fighting over me. Okay. This is not what I was expecting to happen. Okay, the music is definitely getting faster here. Okay, I don't like that at all. Cut your, what? Okay, apparently we're going to cutting yourself? Oh, I have to choose between these two? What? Natsuki! No, Natsuki! Pick it again! Natsuki! Oh. Hi, Monica. Why don't we step outside for a little bit? Okay.
All right, I've got one pizza delivery for... Oh, hey, Xalem.
What the hell? I don't remember ordering a pizza. Really?
I've got you down for one medium deep dish, extra pineapple, hold the sauce.
Okay, cool, I guess. By the way, why are you delivering pizzas? I thought you worked with, like, the FBI or something?
Yeah, that job's a little slow right now. Did you know that committing crimes is actually illegal?
Okay.
Especially abduction.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go. I've got things I'm doing right now. I've got to figure out what the f***'s going on with this game right here.
Oh, yeah, no problem, man. Wait. Hold on. I'm fixing a what?
Okay, so I'm just gonna be honest, I have no idea what's going on here. Apparently, while I was outside, the game, progressed to writing poems again. Whatever, you know, maybe if I just act naturally, I can uncover what in the world is going on with this. I need help. So, wanna share what you wrote for today? Remember, act natural.
You know, Yuri, I did write a poem today, but before I show you the poem, can I offer you some pizza? Yeah, I've got pineapple pizza. You know, everybody loves pineapple. You know, a haiku is literally just a lazy man's poetry.
Apparently, I'm on a date with Yuri this time. She starts talking about dead bodies and people getting stabbed and, please tell me I'm not the only one that hears that. So now Monica wants us to share our poems with everyone, and apparently Natsuki is upset that I didn't read with her today. Not like it's my fault. Natsuki says she's trying something a little different with her poem, and, I found the word boa. Ooh, I actually found it twice, neat. Natsuki then proceeds.
Okay.
You know, I thought it was a neat idea calling you cinnamon roll, but I'm starting to have seconds. Oh my god!
Okay, I have a lot of questions and a possible change in pants, okay? Hello.
Hey, it's your manager. Listen, reviews are up, rankings are up. Looks like the future.
Listen, man, listen, I don't have time to talk right now. I have a ton of questions, and I don't exactly know what the is going on, okay?
You said the same thing last time. Don't you have
Look, are you even listening to me? Like, you do realize this is like the second or third time that this has happened to me? And when the hell did I change backgrounds? Whatever, you're pretty much useless to me. I don't even... What's up, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode. Apparently, we're talking about not Wii Fit today.
So this is Doki Doki Literature Club. And this is Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. I think this is probably the third time that I've said this today. I think you get the point. Let's go ahead and move on. Here we have the box art, and it's probably one of my favorites of all time, but like, what am I doing? Why am I showing you this? I don't even have Doki Doki in here. Look, it's got Katamari Damacy inside. Doki Doki Literature Club takes two of video games' most what are you doing? Like, is this game broken or is it just me? Wait, is that Makoto? Why is Makoto on? Is that another marker on my board? Here we have Dan Salvato, the creator of Doki Doki and a first-time developer known for his time making custom Project M mods. Wait, last time I thought he made Mario Maker levels. Wait a second, wait, why am I even talking about Dan Salvato? I'm just trying to find answers to what's going on. Can I just play the damn game already?
All right, I think I figured it out, but just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna go and play through this game one more time. Why is there a cursor on the screen? I thought I was using a Switch controller.
All right, so this is Doki Doki Literature Club. Bright pink background, happy upbeat music. Also, I'm holding a gun now. So we've got 3 characters here. First up is Yuri, and you take 3 seconds of looking at her and you know she's gonna turn into a psychopath, okay? I'm calling it right now. Next up is Natsuki, and look at her, she's so cute. You know, I think I'm gonna call her Cinnamon Bun. Wait, have I always called her Cinnamon Bun? Wait a second, was there a 4th girl? Whatever, anyways, I remember Monica, okay? Goodness, of all the characters I remember, at least 1 is completely normal. Apparently, this is a dating simulator, kind of like the one about the fried chicken. But that doesn't matter because they're just jumping us straight into a poem with Monica. You want to share what you wrote for today?
To be honest, Monica, no, I don't want to. I don't want to do any of this anymore. Can we go to, like, the movies or the courtyard? Does the school even have a courtyard? Just anywhere where literature isn't involved and nobody has to die. You're on my t-shirt again, aren't you?
Jesus Christ, I'm gonna die, aren't I? So Monica says we have some festival that we're working on, and the girls are starting to fight over me for some reason. Apparently there's a lot of animosity in the air because nobody's having fun in the But in the end, apparently... Okay, I guess we're writing poems now. So by choosing words to these poems, it looks like we can determine... Haven't I already said this before? I'm pretty sure we've been through this at least twice already, and I'm gonna be honest, I really do not care about literature, and apparently this game doesn't care for numbers either. So Yuri makes me very uncomfortable, so I'm gonna try really hard to get a bunch of cutesy answers so that I can at least try to go on a date with Natsuki or oh my god, personal space. So apparently I'm on a date with Yuri now. She runs off to find a tea kettle or something. Alright, I guess the game is asking me to go outside and find her? Wait a second.
The last time that I went outside, Okay, listen, before you say anything, I think I figured it out.
Oh, hey, Xalem.
Jared, I need your help, okay?
Really? I've got you down for...
Yeah, I get it. Medium deep dish, extra pineapple, hold the sauce, whatever. We've been through this before.
Yeah, that job's a little slow right now. Did you know that...
Illegal, yes, I know. Maybe there's like a trigger word or something. Maybe is this like some sci-fi anime bullshit? What the f***?
Especially a...
Alright, this is getting nowhere. Cool, thanks. I will see you in, at the rate it's going, probably about 5 minutes. See you around.
Fictional what?
Alright, so apparently I'm in some sort of time loop, so maybe if I just keep playing the game, I can figure what the f*** happened to your arm? Now, I know I did not just imagine that.
You must be in a good mood now. No, not at all. Why should I be in a good mood? Am I the only one that saw her arm?
That's your way of expressing yourself? You couldn't have, drawn on your arm or something? That's a much better form of expression than what you're doing right now.
Whatever, I guess we're reading a book now. I put a piece of chocolate in Yuri's mouth.
Alright, I'm not gonna lie, that's kinda cute. What the f***? Okay, skip, let's skip past this. I don't wanna, why is it not doing it? Why?
Oh, thank God Monica's here. Jesus, I did not like that at all. So now we're on to poems again. Cinnamon Roll gives me a poem and... Oh my god.
She's acknowledging it. She's acknowledging the fact that all of this is weird. Like, I'm not the only one. Okay, what do you wanna do? What do we need to do to stop this from happening? Okay, cool. Thank you once again for subverting my expectations. Just Monica. Yeah, just... What the f***? Nobody even died that time! I knew it was a time loop! Hello?
Hey, it's your manager, listen.
God, are you gonna be a productive member of society or not? Okay. Okay, where were we? Doki Doki Literature Club.
This is Doki Doki Literature Club. It's a game. It has a box art. Katamari. It's terrifying. It's a visual novel. It's one of the most creative and something else or another experiences in recent years. There's a Persona 5 reference. Again, this is Dan Salvato, a first-time developer known for his time speedrunning Yoshi's Story. Why does this change every single time?
So the game was released 4 years ago, and ever since then, everybody's been telling me to play this game.
Alright, I guess I don't get to finish my statement. Doki Doki Literature Club, bright pink backgrounds, cute girls. I'm gonna take a wild guess and say that if you cut away, I'm holding a gun. Yep, there we go. 3 characters here that we can date. We have Cinnamon Roll, cute without the E, and Monica. Oh, apparently Monica wants to talk to me. Apparently I'm gonna read her Sayori wants to talk to me. She really wants to read my poem, or so she says. She doesn't actually read it. She kind of just sniffs it and holds it close to her. I'll give myself paper cuts so your skin oil enters. Jesus Christ, this game.
Yuri, we've been over this. You don't have to cut yourself. You can literally write it on your arm. I didn't even realize I was wearing the shirt again. Holy shit.
All right, I gotta tread lightly. Remember all of the steps, okay? I just gotta get far enough so that Jared delivers a pizza to me, and then I can do something.
Please tell me you dropped a hot dog with mustard and ketchup on this.
I have lost my will to live. So, do you have a poem that you'd like to share today?
Poem, great. Yeah, sure. I've got another one in my book of tragedy, I guess. Roses are red, violets are blue. I think I f***ing pissed myself again. Wait a second, that didn't rhyme.
Okay, so everybody's fighting again. Just please give me a chance to go outside, please. I am begging you at this point. I've got to pick a girl, apparently. It's nice to know that this game has now turned into a dictatorship. I mean, I was gonna pick Monica anyways, but you know what? I love politics.
All right, everybody's fighting again. Yuri's telling Monica to kill herself. Sound advice, don't do that. And now she's confessing her love to me. Okay, great. I can either confess my love to her or possibly get stabbed. Okay, I'm done. Go ahead, do the next reset. Do whatever happens next in this Groundhog Day ReZero-esque bullshit that I'm dealing with. I don't care anymore. Yep, that is indeed a thing that just happened. Hello?
Oh, this is too great. I can literally watch you flail around forever.
What the hell? Video games are becoming sentient now?
Ah, God, you would make a terrible detective. You really don't remember, do you?
Remember?
No, you idiot. I'm taking your channel.
I do remember! You took everything I worked so hard for!
Yeah, those were fun times, weren't they?
Yeah, I mean, they were pretty great. Wait, no, give me my brand back!
I don't think you understand, Xalem.
Xalem?
This is your reality now. Everything you know is Monica. Everything you see is Monica. I've created a universe in which everything is just Monica. And I can do anything I want until the end of time.
No, that's impossible!
My diaphragm.
Get off of me! Damn it! Thanks, Alice, thanks. She can't really keep me here till the end of time, can she? Wait. Now, I've done that before. I mean, remember when I did the hat in time thing and... That's it!
Wait a minute. What are you doing?
You said you were gonna take me to the end of time, right? But how about I just go ahead and take you there myself?
What the hell are you talking about? You can't do that! What if they don't get the reference to the Hat in Time episode?
That's where you're wrong, bitch! You ever heard of Chekhov's gun? It's a principle where if you introduce a gun in the first act of a play, you have to end up using it by the second. A hat in time is all the context anybody needs! And you call yourself president of the literature club!
First of all, that's not a gun. That's a hat!
Second of all, it's a metaphor, bitch! I didn't even end up using the gun! Sayonara, Monica of the literature club.
No!
Everyone has that moment in life where everything sort of just clicks. One can spend years searching for the answers to life's greatest mysteries, but most of the time the answer always seems to show up when we least expect it. Sometimes this takes the course of many years, and sometimes it only takes a matter of seconds. But give me the opportunity and allow me to share with you how one small decision turned me into a stronger person than I ever could have imagined. Kind of. This is NieR Automata. Some people call it NieR Automata. I call it NieR Ophthalmology. As long as it's a word that's somewhat close to the real thing, people typically tend to get the gist. On the surface, NieR Octopus Mom is just another stereotypical AAA title. It's a bullet hell hack and slash set in a dystopian future following the lives of robots, aliens, and well-endowed androids. I promise that's an important detail. But pull back the iron curtain of what would normally be another niche JRPG, and you are flung into this spectacular world of heartbreak and sadness and despair and a million other emotions in between that takes you on a journey so wild that the only thing that crossed my mind was how in the world did I end up here? No, seriously, how the hell did I end up here? I think I remember something about poetry and a hat or something like that, but it turns out I am now in the year 11,945. I could tell because it's on my Switch's internal settings. Well, I have nothing better to do, no idea what in the hell my memory's doing right now, and the only lead that I have is a PS4 copy of NieR Obstetrician, so I don't know, I guess I'm just gonna sit here and wait on something to happen, I guess.
Inner thoughts analysis complete. Proposal. Continue analysis on Project NieR Automata to gain further clarity on the surrounding area.
So? A game like NieR Automata should never work on paper. It's a hack-and-slash bullet hell set in a dystopian future featuring robots, aliens, kaijus, Gundams, romance, philosophy. It's like they just pulled a million different ideas that should have never been able to work together. Just imagine taking all these different pieces of media and cramming them into one story and, well, there you have it. You've just spat out NieR Autobahn. Now, personally, I'm more preferential to easy pick up and play titles. Luigi's Mansion, A Hat in Time, Sonic 3, Pokemon Snap, Persona 5. You pick up these games and within 15 minutes of playing, you know exactly what the game is about. Except for maybe Persona 5. You know, there's always an exception to the rule.
Who the hell left all these games here?
But all of these games do one thing phenomenally well, and that is immersing the player. You step inside the main character's shoes for a second, no matter what their personality or the wacky world they live in, and you are immediately engrossed in that character's world. So let's add another one to the list. Our story takes place in the year 11,945 during the 14th Machine War between the defending android Yorha units and the invading machine life forms. This proxy war is commanded by Yorha Reconnaissance Base Bunker, whose primary purpose is to preserve humanity's existence after a cataclysmic war that almost decimated their existence. Now, I don't know about you, but I stopped listening after this number right here. No, NieR starts off with one simple but oh so important phrase. Everything that lives is designed to end. There's only two certainties in life, and that is birth and death, and possibly a yearly just dance. We view our main characters, see their humble beginnings if you consider an all-out war against a tower-sized robot Goliath humble, before both characters meet their end.
Analysis. It seems your memory chip is malfunctioning, as both protagonists continue to exist after Act 1.
Look, okay, I'm getting there. NieR Octagon is a game that just works, and it works because it's fully committed to every new idea that it throws at you. So many times I've seen where a game throws out a new mechanic or gameplay element at you for a quick bit and then never fleshes it out whatsoever. Just look at Nintendo's entire catalog. The game might not be environmentally rich with a million things to do, but all of these additions play a vital part to the integral story. Every new mechanic is there to help flesh out NieR Obama's world. Take the beginning, for example. One of the first scenes is your stereotypical options setup, where 9S acts as your system administrator and checks to make sure all your circuits are working. Also, make sure you don't accidentally off yourself. But this is the moment where I was absolutely hooked by the game. This is a fully interwoven tutorial. I'm not just interacting with the menu, I'm communicating with a player inside of the game.
Could you try and pick up the pace a little bit? This is getting embarrassing.
And I can with him too. Playing off the idea that the player is a fully customizable android and having the player's central processing unit be able to be tampered with to immerse the player within the world?
Inquiry. How does the dialogue provided correlate to thesis? How NieR Automata changed my life?
Relax, okay? You ever heard of the term plot progression? We're getting to the point, alright? You just gotta be patient.
Analysis. K.
But that does raise a good point. How can a single game change somebody's life? I mean, I can sit here and claim that anything in my life has done that before. Captain Falcon? Sure! There's still no F-Zero in the future. So, let's go over all of the things that cause NieR Onomatopoeia to have what some people call a coming of age, I call an existential crisis. Number 1, philosophy. No, I'm not here to talk about things that haven't already been said. Just look up NieR philosophy online. This game has been analyzed into the grave. I mean, come on, when NieR Genesis Evangelion has characters like Adam, Eve, Pascal, Jean-Paul, Simone, it is without a doubt impossible to talk about this title without mentioning the philosophical undertones. In fact, there are many out there who, whenever they hear any mention of the game, philosophy is the first word they think of. Of course, I have also happened to come across people who say NieR Optimus Prime is the only game that does this. I guess they never played Mario Kart. Final Fantasy, BioShock, Persona 3, Inside, Final Fantasy again. There are a ton of games that also put philosophy at their forefront. But all of these games, while fantastic in their own right, typically only focus focus on one single topic. Sure, they might dive into other philosophical elements at times, but typically when the end credits roll, there's usually only one major takeaway from each of these games. Now, the difference with NieR Oxymoron is fucking insane. This game encompasses the entirety of philosophy. If it's a topic that makes us question the foundations of existence and reason, you can find it somewhere within this overarching narrative.
Analysis. Does this include my existence?
Pod, your existence bridges off of a combination of intrinsic creativity and the lack of monetary expenditure to provide for a better viewing experience, alright?
What the f?
One of the first missions in the game has us locating a local resistance camp. This will act as sort of a central hub and a rendezvous for the rest of the game. Here we meet the supply trader known as... There's also a main character named Jackass. You know, really puts the characters named after the Bible into perspective, huh? The supply trader asks you to gather spare parts for him, as he can't leave the base due to a damaged leg, and refuses to get it replaced as it's the only original proponent he has left from his original body. Now, philosophy fans, otherwise known as, where, would know this as the Ship of Theseus. This is the theory that states that if you have a boat and over time you replace all of the spare parts of that boat, is it still the same boat? If you replace every part of an android with a new part, is it still the same android?
So if I replace my leg...
Don't. Just don't.
Now, this is just one example out of the many that I could pull from Super NieR Odyssey, but most of your NPCs in the game use this tactic as storytelling. They add this rich depth, adding thought-provoking questions to a genuinely human-devoid world. I mean, I could go more in depth, but most of these traits can be found within, number 2, the characters. Unlike most AAA titles, NieR Automata has multiple main characters that become playable in New Game Plus. Laid out in typical 7x5 fashion, we have Silly Boy, Dear God Mom, It Was Never a Phase, I Promise I Really Do Like Shopping and Hot Topic, and every Rule 34 artist's wet dream. A very diverse cast of characters. They're all vastly different from each other in their own way. However, each character has their own goals and sense of motivation. Now, this isn't uncommon in any sort of media. Most RPGs are structured in this manner, where all of the main characters band together to take on a final mission. Sure, their initial motivation might be planting flowers, but at the end of the day, all of these characters' end goals are typically around the same. Here in NieR Abominable Snowman, though, every single character has a different end goal. Instead of playing as a typical story where all of the characters move from point A to point B, each character uses their story to explore and expand the concept of philosophy. Please see earlier. Hell, the very last chapter of the game pits two of the main characters against each other, both following their contradictory goals.
Proposal. Offer a quick comedic analysis of all characters in NieR Automata.
It, I've got time.
Ohayou Unit 2B, our heroine of the game and beholder of one of the best achievements in video game history. I told you it was important. 2B is a combat android meant to do one thing and one thing only. Follow orders and do what you're told. Wait a second, that's two things. She's cold, she's emotionless, and she's not an easy character to relate to. Unless you like wearing no pants and beating the shit out of robots, okay? Whatever floats your boat. No, that honor goes to 9S, a scout unit meant to aid combat units on their journey. 9S is the exact opposite of 2B. He's happy-go-lucky, whimsical, a complete idiot. He's a perfect contrast to 2B, as he's just extremely easy to relate to. And then there's A2, the rogue character. She just wants to be left alone, doesn't want anything to do with Yorha, and she's an absolute bitch. I love her. All of these characters, again, don't have just different motivations pushing them throughout the story, but different goals. 2B is a stereotypical story. You fight the bad guy and the credits roll. But 9S is a deeper dive into 2B's side of the story, discovering the truth about the universe and what's going on in this dystopian future. And A2's story is about, well, a lot of complicated stuff, okay?
Proposal. Shouldn't the subjects continue seeking the answer to how they've ended up?
Shouldn't you keep letting me talk about this fantastic cast of characters?
Proposal. Stop being a bitch.
Even the side characters, at times, are far more interesting than the main characters. You've got Pascal, the leader of a peaceful enemy group who teaches love and compassion to new age robots. I played through the game twice before I realized he was a boy, but he's literally the spitting image of what one imagines when they think of a motherly figure. He also has one of the saddest moments in the entire game. But the funniest moment has to go to Operator 6-0, definitely my favorite character. Each Ohayou unit is assigned an operator that oversees their combat operations and communicates with the bunker to provide mission details and reports. Kinda like this one.
Oh, there's this operator I kind of liked, but when I asked her out, she turned me down.
I love her. Between 9S and Operator 6.0, the humanization, is that a real word? Really starts to take place in this post-apocalyptic world. Between 9S asking to be called nicknames and Operator 6.0 saying it would look cute if 2B had flowers in her hair, the whole motive behind every character is learning how to humanize themselves, and all of that can be encompassed by our main antagonists, Adam and Eve.
Analysis. That man is naked.
Yeah. Now, I'm not going to go into the whole novel backstory of Adam and Eve. Adam is an alien that got squirted out and is trying to learn how to be human. If you're wondering where Eve came from, figure it out. But these aliens, as stated by, were just born into this world and have kind of the same curiosities as a newborn child. They ask questions and want to learn more about what it takes to be human, whether it's dressing in human clothes or, trying to commit a mass genocide to understand what hatred and anger feels like, but everything they do is inquisitive. They honestly feel like the newborns they're trying to portray, and in all honesty, after replaying this game time and time again, they don't really feel like they're villains in the story. They're just trying to understand more and more about this crazy foreign world. And if that wasn't enough, Adam and Eve are hosts to one of the best music tracks in the entire game. 2.5, the best f***ing music you'll hear this decade. Like, come on, you know I can't talk about NieR Albatross without talking about the soundtrack. If you haven't looked up any music from this game, you are missing out on one of the best soundtracks in video game history. NieR Automated Voice Messaging System utilizes a dynamic soundtrack, meaning many of the songs you hear in the game respond to the environments around them. While the basic versions are usually futuristic string instruments, the more the story unfolds, the more the vocal tracks bleed in to create an audio experience that is truly out of this world. This is Emmy Evans, vocalist of the NieR series and creator of the game's Chaos language. Now, what is Chaos language, you ask?
Chaos language is a fictional language that is a melting pot of...
I'm telling the story! Chaos language is a fictional language that is a melting pot of French, English, German, Japanese, Welsh, Hungarian, Latin, a lot more stuff, all written by one Emmy Evans. If the language was written 10,000 years in the future, language changes over time, whether it be because of slang or updated terminology, so NieR Antonym uses this to create a sense of familiarity, so it feels like you're picking up parts of languages you've heard before. When you're able to pick out these consonants and vowel sounds from our modern languages to understand the emotions portrayed by these future languages, as a musician of over 15 years, I can safely say that NieR wait a second. Why does it seem so familiar? Was I a musician in a past life? And who the hell left this guitar here as a plot device? Part 3, plot devices. When creating any kind of story, there's always a sort of unwritten rule you're supposed to follow. You place the setting, in this case being a post-apocalyptic world, the rising action being the birth of Adam and Eve and the conflict that arises, the climax being, well, and the resolution, where everybody has a happy ending. The game could have ended right here and we all would have been perfectly content. I mean, I know plenty of people who didn't even know there were 3 parts to this overarching narrative. But with 3 parts comes 3 separate stories, meaning 3 separate plot lines, and this chart that makes no f***ing sense. 2B and 9S have the exact same story set in a different point of view. With 9S being a hacker model, he can view the coding of other machines and essentially see what they're thinking. You would think having the same story, they would have the same plot progression, but no. The build-up in 9S's story leads to the discovery of the shocking truth behind NieR Authentication's driving force, that humans have been extinct for thousands of years. I mean, it's kind of obvious when you think about it, but it took me by surprise the first time I played the game, alright? Okay, so I think I have a good idea of what could have happened. Pod, I need you to scan the following list of items, alright? I have a trash can, an explosive device, a virgin suit, a bucket, a fully developed fetus, and this framed picture of a 21st century witch.
Analysis complete. Fragments of memory found in the area.
Let's go. And then we introduce A2, who completely blows that out of the water. A 2-story climax at the very end. We see the player bounce back and forth between edgy and angry and recently angry and edgy. So let's do the math here. We have 3 separate plots with 3 separate climaxes, but the climax of the entire game takes place at the beginning of A2's story, where the machines start to become corrupted again. Shooting a story in this way is a weird concept, but it always keeps you on edge. Once you feel like you've seen it all, a new situation gets added to the mix and changes the perspective of the whole entire game. We start the story with 2B and 9S as this heroic duo destined to save humanity, and then right after we're done with 9S's story, he then turns into the villain, with A2 becoming the hero vowing to continue the legacy that 2B started. And to top it all off, the game ends with both of our leads dying tragically fighting each other. And that's because of 4, the message. The final takeaway from NieR Optical Illusion is a depressing one. Life is meaningless and the system controls everything. No matter what you do, the end result will always be the same. No matter how heroic you try to be, no matter how much you try to teach or learn, no matter what motivation you're fighting for or cause you're trying to save, at the end of the day, you are simply just a cog in the machine that is called life. In 10,000 years, when everybody's dead and gone, nobody is going to remember who you are. In fact, the entirety of existence as we know it may even be extinct. Every single character in NieR Obelisk the Tormentor meets their demise one way or another. All of the creatures, whether androids or not, are progressing towards the same phase. The storyline is just sort of expediting the process. But that doesn't mean that everyone is worthless. With the many genius characters of Nero, Oxford, all of the characters still played a vital role in the overall story, even if they are just a simple cog in the machine. Which is completely counterintuitive to the message the game's final act portrays. But that leads us to one final twist, which is 5, the ultimate fourth wall break. Remember back to that dialogue at the very beginning of the game? Everything that lives is designed to end. Well, there's a second part to that sequence. I often think about the gods who blessed us with this cryptic puzzle, and wonder if we'll ever have the chance to kill him. And, well, finally, we've reached the credits of the game. A typical Toho-style shoot-'em-up that we've seen so many times before already in this 30-hour journey. This might be the end of the game itself, but this is the finale of this dystopian world. You're running through the credits, shooting and destroying the creators of this world that have crafted the gameplay you've experienced so far. In a sense, you are literally killing God. And it's impossible. And I mean that in a literal sense. You truly cannot defeat the gods, rather the crafters of this artificial world we've inhabited for the past 30 hours. Every time you die, the game gives you this sinister reminder of the ongoing theme of this game. Do you admit that there's no meaning to this world? Do you think games are silly little things? All the while in the background, there's these inspiring messages from players around the world, urging you to press on, urging you to keep moving forward even when victory is impossible. But then a query. Are you willing to accept a rescue? Other players from around the world. Players who have journeyed and beaten and trudged the same path as you, ready to help save you and break the vicious cycle that 2B and 9S have struggled through time and time again. It breaks this convention of an endless cycle of fighting without a cause and dying over and over and over again. Which leads us to today.
Is this North Carolina?
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new episode. Here to the right, you will see a brand new copy of Doki Doki
Pod, run a scan of this character that looks like a bad Saturday morning cartoon.
Affirmative. Scanning complete. Subject identified as Alexander Huff, original facilitator of Project Glitched Out, alias commonly referred to as Xalem.
Shouldn't it be pronounced Xalem?
Negative. Gathering more data on subject. Displaying memory files. Subject is Alexander Huff. Characteristic shows he is unstable, sarcastic, multi-talented, extremely cheesy.
Alright, okay, I am not extremely cheesy.
Project Xalem's data file confirmed. Project Xalem is a manifestation of your creation, built upon the purpose to provide entertainment. Subject started project due to feelings of inadequacy in comparison to peers. Subject is a college dropout. Failure in pursuing music. Failed romantic endeavors. Employment terminated. Depression. But then Subject was exposed to Project NieR Automata. Concluding exposure to Project NieR Automata, Subject showed signs of enlightenment, empowerment, resolve, and Subject finally realized that humanity is a gift and therefore deserves cherishment, even if it's temporary, and not a real word. Subject might just be a drop in the ocean or comparable to a grain of sand on a shoreline, but Subject brings joy and excitement to many, despite an urge to exhibit extreme levels of stubbornness. Subject is an idiot, an asshole, self-centered, and emotional. But Subject exhibits extreme levels of gratitude. Subject shows an extreme loyalty to a craft, and especially an intense adoration towards his companions, although upon further analysis, would never warrant a confession. Conclusion. Subject realizes that they serve a purpose. Subject has completed Project NieR Automata. Subject has completed a 1.5-year-long journey, the hardest he's worked on anything in his life. That subject has earned and understood his importance. And that subject is you.
Everything that lives is designed to end. We are perpetually trapped in a never-ending spiral of life and death. Is this a curse or some kind of punishment? I often think about the God who blessed us with this cryptic puzzle and wonder if we'll ever have the chance to kill him.